So you know they can have their lift lines and their downhill skis and their fancy heavy cast-like boots. I just as soon come right up here where there's no one but me and where I can ski on these skinny skis. What do you say? What do you say? How about that? So you know what I've been thinking about out there on that beautiful cross-country ski is, as they say in Princess Bride, marriage is what brings us together today. And I was thinking about how different this place looked here at our home in Park City just 2 months ago during the wedding of our youngest daughter. Let's take a quick look and then let's make some observations. Oh baby, there the girls are. Where the girls are. Can't be the way home, my the memory of all that.
Okay, you do that. Can I have everyone push back too? Like, yeah. Okay. Okay, so everybody.
Pick it up now.
Reed was there too.
You know, Charity and her new husband, Ian, had a really rocky courtship. I mean, really rocky. And Charity's a big-time blogger, and she has a lot of followers, and she's open about everything. And she blogged a lot about the ups and downs of her courtship. And by the way, it really was a courtship, something that's in somewhat short supply today. But because she laid it out there, warts and all, there were a lot of commenters on her blog that said, oh boy, they're never going to make it. These two have they've had too many ups and downs, too many fights, too many disagreements. This marriage is doomed. And I'm sure a lot of them were well-meaning. They were just trying to, you know, express their concerns because they like Charity and they like her blog. But let me just tell you, I think that this, I mean, I know that this will be a solid marriage. And part of it is because they went through so much of the adjustment process while they were courting, while they were engaged. And they got a lot of it out of the way, which I think will make their marriage a lot smoother than it would have been otherwise. And so, and here's another reason I feel that way about, sorry, I'm just in from that cold and I've got to get some of this stuff off. But another reason I feel like they're, in fact, let me make a U-turn here. Let me give a title to this little video. Let's call it 5 Great Reasons to Get Divorced. And you know, we know what the 5 most common reasons are for divorce because there are polls that tell us, and you could probably guess them. The 5 are differences on money, differences on sex, differences on beliefs and convictions and religion, differences on goals, on where we're trying to go with our life, what we're trying to do, and 5, differences in how we want to raise children, in our philosophy of our family. And so the interesting thing is, if those are the 5 reasons that are usually the most usual, most common causes of divorce, wouldn't it stand to reason that those are also the very 5 things that a couple engaged, courting, newly married particularly, should make every effort to discuss all the time? Those should be the 5 most open, discussed, agreed upon gradually, little by little, through compromise and so on. Those should be the 5 things. And I asked Charity and Ian prior to their getting married, while they were still engaged, how much they actually talked about each of those things. And we went through them all. How much do you really talk about finances and about money and about how you view budgets and all the rest of it? And they said, oh, Dad, we're way up to speed on that. And I guess I should have guessed that, because Ian is just finishing his PhD in economics at Stanford. So I guess they talk plenty about money and economics and getting on the same page as far as what they believe. I said, how much do you talk about sex? And I don't think there was even a red face. They were just like, you know, we talk about it a lot because we know it's important. We know intimacy is one of the things that is going to be the gauge of how good our marriage is and how close we are and how much we become one. And so we talk about it a lot, but we'll talk about it a lot more after we're married and we have experience, because they, like too few people today, have decided to wait on intimacy and on full intercourse until they're married. And of course now they are, and now they are talking, and I think, I don't sit in on these talks, but I have a feeling they're very detailed. I have a feeling they ask each other how they feel. I have a feeling that they each have the goal of being sure the other person is fulfilled and in the right place when it comes to their intimacy. So there's number 2. Number 3 is beliefs and faith and religion. And they're lucky because they share the same faith, the same conviction. And I think when they talk about it, it draws them closer, never further apart. Number 4, the fourth reason for divorce, but the fourth thing that people should talk about all the time, their goals, their aspirations, where they're trying to go, where they want to end up in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years. And Charity and Ian talk a lot about that. I'm happy about that. I'm glad they do, because that's something you don't want to get surprised by down the road. And last, and in some ways the most important, children. I think Charity and Ian talk a lot about that, not only about how many children they want and what the spacing and when they should try to have their first child and so on. I think they talk about their philosophy of rearing children. What will our goals be? What will our methodologies be? What will we try to accomplish? What will our parenting mode be? How will we go about creating a family culture that's actually stronger than the media culture, the internet culture, all the other peer cultures, the celebrity culture, all the other cultures that swirl around our kids? I think Charity and Ian are deep, even though they haven't had a child yet, deep into the conversation about how they will create a family structure that supersedes all of those others. So thanks for bearing with me for a few minutes. I think it is kind of wonderful in a way that we can anticipate, and that even those of us who have been married for a long, long time can understand that the very 5 most common reasons for divorce are also the 5 things we should insist on having open, consistent, almost constant conversation about, so that they always work to the strengthening of our marriages, never to the detriment. Good luck.